Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Mid-Pingmaster here today with my GDL Season 2 draft analysis. So, if you've been watching my channel for about like if you've known me for even a half a year, you'll know I was in GDL Season 1. I believe I was the Cats in Season 1. I might have been the Rollouts, but this season I'm coming back as the Rollouts. I was in Season 1, great time, made a lot of friends and such, and yeah, now we're back for Season 2. Coming back with a different logo just because I have two really good logos I like and I wanted to use it rollouts for this one. So before we get any further, don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell in the top right corner if you want a notification whenever I upload. So last season we had a Dynamax clause where you could pick one tier 5 on your team to Dynamax. But this season we're just doing it like AP where it's tiers and then you can pick a Gmax Mon. Like URSHIFU, Charizard, Blastoise, all those mons, like any mon that can Gmax, they basically like replace the Mega slot that we had in Gen 7 and Gen 6. So I believe we have 16 coaches. Yeah, and I got a really good draft spot. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was 3rd. So I originally had 2nd, but since Leo won, he got to choose his draft spot, and of course he picked 1st. I don't blame him. So then it goes Matt, O'Shea, and then me. So I got arguably like one of the, no matter what, I always got like a really great mon to start out my draft, just because I feel like in Galar decks there's not very many like top tier mons. Like there are a lot of top tier mons, but like not like broken really good like you had in Gen 7 where you had like Tapu Koko, Celesteela. But I believe I got one of the best mons in the format in Gmax URSHIFU Rapid Strike. When I made these draft slides, I intended to use webcam, but I'm just not feeling it, so I put my profile picture in it, but I got Gmax URSHIFU. I would have preferred to get regular URSHIFU because no matter what, you can get a good Gmax Mon, but Matt O'Shea actually took regular single strike URSHIFU, and we had a rule that you could only 2 URSHIFUs could be drafted, one that are non-Gmax and one that are Gmax. Just so there aren't 4 running around the league, because that just makes it annoying. It makes it very repetitive, because if you fought all 4, it's just ridiculous. So Matt O'Shea took regular URSHIFU and I took Gmax. So I got single strike, the dark and fighting one, and we don't have to Gmax first turn. We can Gmax any turn we want. But this mon is very good with the base 100 HP, 130 attack, 100 defense, 63 special attack, 60 SPDF, and 97 speed. So this mon is very great offensively between the dark and fighting combo. Hits super hard with close combat, drain punch. It gets its own like signature move in Wicked Blow where it always crits. So like it just makes it to where bulky sidekicks really can't come. They can, but they don't want to. They want to switch into the fighting type, but they can't even iron defense up, to try to stall me out. Because with Wicked Blow, I'll crit and go through the stat boost. It gets things like Thunder Punch, U-Turn, Sucker Punch, Rock Slide. I can hit fairies with Iron Head and P-Jab, so like I have a way to hit them because I'm 4 times weak to them. So fairy types will normally be bring because it resists both of my dual stabs and hit me super effectively. I can't talk. So, but this mon's just really strong because with that base 130 attack, and if I can get a bulk up or get like I can't remember what the fighting move's called, max knuckle attack boost, and this thing does get aerial, so I can't get a speed boost. It just makes it hit super hard and just become even faster. So I feel like it's probably like top 3, top 5 in the format if you allow Gmaxes, so I'm really excited to use it. But then I had to basically wait 20 picks for it to come back to me because this is a snake draft, and I got ROTOM-WASH. I really liked ROTOM-WASH. It gives me a ground immunity with Levitate, which is something my BBR draft really struggles with is ground types. So I picked up a Levitator early. It'll run the same few sets each week. It'll either be offensive with Nasty Plot, Choice Scarf, or bulky with like Volt Switch, Hydro Pump, Pain Split, Willow. It does get Defog, which is really nice. It gets Poltergeist, but I don't think I'll ever run that. It gets Willow and Thunder Wave and toxic, so it gets all of the like good status moves. It also, I believe, gets dual screens. It gets reflect and light screen, so I can set up screens. And it's just a really good mon. Like, its stats are pretty average with 50 HP, 65 attack, 107 in both defense and speed up, 105 special attack, and then 86 speed. So, but it's just with the water and electric typing, it just can live so many hits, get a pain split up, and then just volt switch out, because and ground types can't switch into this to stop your volt switch, just because you can hydro them the next turn. So this one's really good. Next up we have, so it was 4 picks, so I didn't have to wait as long, so I could kind of pick in a pair, and I got ARCANINE, so I already have my fire and my water for my fire, water, grass score, which aren't always super necessary, but I wanted a mon that could take the fairy hits for URSHIFU, and there's like the only steal that would have been worth taking this round was Ferrothorn, but I didn't think Ferrothorn was the best tier 1 I could have got. No, a lot of the good tier 1s went really early. I almost got Corviknight. It was taken like 1 or 2 picks before me, round 2. So I almost got Gmax URSHIFU Corviknight, which would have been broken. But I got ARCANINE, which is another one I really like. I actually have ROTOM-WASH ARCANINE in a showdown league right now, Red, which is just a good showdown league. And I really like this pairing because it has really good momentum with Rotom Volt Switch and then ARCANINE Teleport that it got in Let's Go. Which, if you don't know, it's just like you take a hit or they switch out, but then you get like the last momentum and you can switch out into whatever you want with Teleport. But as I said before, this is a great fairy check because most fairies don't have coverage to hit ARCANINE. 90 HP, 110 attack, 80 defense, 100 special attack, 80 speed up, and 95 speed. So like, it has a good speed tier. It has pretty good stats. I don't know how often I'll run it offensive, but it's really good, like a physical check to mons with the Intimidate. And it gets moves like Willow, Flamethrower, can be physical or special with Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, Crunch, Extreme Speed, can be defensive with like Flamethrower, Toxic, Morning Sun, and what's it called, Teleport. It also doesn't have it has good coverage, so like this mon's really good. But it really got better with the addition of heavy duty beats, which you'll normally run, just so it doesn't take the 25% on switch in. So it just makes it an even better pivot mon than it would have been without them. And it's just really hard to break unless you have super effective hits or you're just a natural breaker. But even then, mons don't want to break it. So then I waited another 20 picks and I got GENGAR. So this mon pairs really well with URSHIFU and URSHIFU, really. I almost said URSHIFU and GENGAR. Because it breaks the fairy types that URSHIFU doesn't want to deal with and have trouble breaking. While URSHIFU breaks the steals that GENGAR has trouble with, because otherwise I have to click Focus Blast and such, which I could easily miss. But this mon helps me out with my speed tiers at base 110, 60 HP, 65 attack, 60 defense, 130 special attack, 75 speed up, and 110 speed. So it's really fast, and in this new generation, you don't always need to have a mon at like 130 in the 120s. Like, they're helpful, but there's not that many mons that are that fast that are in the game currently. So you don't have to worry about having the greatest speed tiers. They're not as important anymore, but GENGAR 110, that just makes it even better this gen. Because paired with that 130 base special attack, if I throw on a Choice Scarf, I'll see most of the meta game. And I can still 2-hit KO most mons with either Shadow Ball or Sludge Wave. It's a Gen 1 mon, so it gets great recovery. And in this generation, it got Nasty Plot. So that makes it even better, because now like you can force a switch. Like if your opponent has in like a Reuniclus and it's kind of low, you can force them out, click a Nasty Plot as they go into their dark type, and then either click Dazzling Gleam or Focus Blast, which is really nice. Its dual stab is incredibly hard to switch into outside of steel types, but as I said, it gets Focus Blast. Gets moves like Energy Ball. I can Destiny Bond, which does not work on Gmaxes, so I can't run like Scarf, Destiny Bond, and hope their Gmax Shredder kills me. Gets Knockoff, which could be kind of interesting if I want to if I wanted to be more like Pain Split, Willow knockoff like utility, which I don't think I would. But it gets really, it's just a really offensive mon that does not have very many switch-ins. So then I waited another few picks, and I got DIGGERSBY. I don't know how much I like DIGGERSBY on my team, but it's a mon I want to try. It has huge power, which makes its 56 attack stat even better, because at level 50, with an animate nature, it hits 118 attack, so double that becomes 236. So it just hits incredibly hard, and that's before you throw on a choice bane or get up an SD. It does only have 78 speed, but it does give me my first hazards and spikes, which can be really nice if like I'm choice scarf and expect them to switch. I can just click spikes and try to hazard, not really hazard stack, but just make sure I can like whittle down the checks of this thing, because like I'll know what their switch into this is, and I'll probably have my own pivot into their check. But this thing did get a little bit worse with the removal of return and frustration, so it doesn't hit as hard, but body slam plus earthquake still hits mons very hard, and it does help break the steel types that Gengar struggle with, which my team honestly doesn't really struggle with anymore, with between URSHIFU, DIGGERSBY, and ARCANINE, which can all easily break steals. It gets a lot of coverage with like knockoff, rock slide. It gets thunder punch, so it can hit the waters. I was thinking it does get ice punch. It gets all the elemental punches, gets knockoff, it gets U-turn, so like tree scarf U-turn is always nice. It also gets agility, so I could be like double dance, which is just incredibly scary in general to prep for, because you think you're gonna switch out into your switch in or check, and you just SD up and one shot it. So DIGGERSBY is just another mon that's not the greatest, but like you have to put prep in it. You have to prep for it every game, otherwise you just auto lose. So then I waited another 20 picks, and I think I got this mon a little early, but it ended up working out because I got DRUDDIGON. And if I did not get it this round, Leo 6-foot Hex would have taken it 2 picks after me. I knew he would. It looked really good on his team, but it's a great mon. It's a great dragon type. I'm starting my Fairy Dragon Steel Core. So with my dragon, it's a tier 4, which I really like. It gets 3 great abilities in Rough Skin, Sheer Force, and Mode Breaker. So I can run Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin. You know, like if my opponent brings a physical mon, it just hits them super hard. Like it'll take like, I believe like 1/3 or 1/4 amount of damage every time it comes in. I'm not too sure, but it gets great coverage. It gets Dragon Claw, Crunch, EQ. It gets the elemental punches, I believe. I don't know if it gets Ice Punch. It does not, but it gets Fire Punch and Thunder Punch. It gets Sucker Punch, so like if a mon's faster than me and I want damage on it before I die, I can just click Sucker, and it just hits super hard. It's extremely physically defensive, and it's actually pretty split up. I didn't realize its defense stats were the same. With 77 HP, 120 attack, 90 defense, 60 special attack, 90 speed up, and 48 speed. So like it's not fast, but it's bulky enough to take the hits at once. It's my first rocker, which is good, because DRUDDIGON's a great rocker and can be brought almost every week, but it's not something you want to bring every week, just because it becomes predictable in what it does. And it's just, with that base 120 attack, you don't have to invest. That hits harder than Victini, which is insane. So yeah, it's just another good mon. So next up, to pair with it, I grab my fairy type in AROMATISSE. It's not the greatest fairy type, but I think it's a good tier 4. I believe Alcremie was still there, but after last season I really did not like it. So this mon is extremely predictable. It'll always be defensive. Wish, Protect, Moonblast, Toxic, Thunderbolt. Aromatherapy. That's what it runs every week. 100 HP, 72 attack, 72 defense, 99 special attack, 89 speed up, and 29 speed. So it's a bulky, it's hard to break, and it can't be taunted with its Aroma Veil. So it makes it to where I can always get a wish up. I can wish into an Arcanine that doesn't get the opportunity to click Morning Sun. I can bring it back. I can wish into URSHIFU. If it like took damage and already did a bunch of work, I can wish back into that and make it back to full health, because with its insane HP stat, it's like just half of it. is really nice because at level 50 the max HP is 208, so that makes it 104, so that could almost fully heal up a Gengar, a Rotom, a DRUDDIGON. It just makes my walls that much better to where they don't have to rely on having to click their Morning Sun or the Pain Split. So it just helps them get their longevity back. So next up, we waited another 20 picks. I got INTELEON. INTELEON I'm not too sure about. It's not a great mon. I think it was a okay tier 3. It's crazy fast this gen with 120 speed, with the pace with... I can't speak. So it has 120 speed with the 125 special attack, which makes it hit super hard already. But unfortunately, water type just isn't the greatest offensive typing. It usually needs to be paired with something like Greninja, because Greninja is great because it has the dark typing, so it has another stab. While this, I'm going to be forced to click Hydro, Surf, Scald, or Snipe Shot. And we do have hidden ability starters now, so I can run Sniper, so if this Pokemon strikes with a critical hit, the damage is multiplied by 1.5. So I can run like Snipe Shot. Does it get Focus Energy? It does get Focus Energy with whatever move it is that you use to make your crit chances higher. I can't think of it. So like I always get a guaranteed crit, and if they're whittled down, I can just beat them, because I'll be so much faster. If they don't have a choice scarf, or it's hard to revenge this thing outside of like a good wall or defensive mon. And I do pretty good at breaking grass types at the moment, because Gengar easily breaks grasses, and so does Arcanine. So it's just really good. Actually, it's not really good, but like it's good support. I wish I got like Spikes or T-Spikes like Greninja. I can't U-turn out. It'll probably run the same moves every week, but that doesn't mean it's bad. I can even run like an SD set one week if need be. I don't think it's the greatest set, but I don't think it would be bad. So then, to pair with this mon, I got Bronzong, another tier 3. Finishes out my Fairy Dragon Steel Core. I have a very low tier Fairy Dragon Steel Core, but I think they all work very well together. It gives me another ground immunity, which my team doesn't really struggle with. I have 2 mons weak to it, but 2 great ground type switch-ins. This mon is just known to be average. 67 HP, 89 attack, 116 in both the defense and the SPDF, 79 special attack, and then 33 speed, so it doesn't hit super hard outside of its stabs, but it gets a lot of nice coverage like Psychic, Driver Ball, Shadow Ball, Stealth Rock. You can run Trick Room. It gets Body Press now, which makes it to where it's not walled by dark types. So I can run Iron Defense Body Press to just hit the switch-ins very hard. And it gives me my second rocker, so far I have 2 Stealth Rockers and 1 Spike User, which isn't really great, but my Stealth Rockers are both really good at wanting to run them, so I think it's fine. So yeah, this mon, I just think it was a really good defensive mon for this team. It really fit well, and I feel like my Fairy Dragon Steel Core, as I said before, is very low tier, but I think it works out really well. Then these last 2 mons are kind of iffy. I needed a tier 5, and then I could get an either tier 4 or tier 5 free pick. So for my grass type, I got Lilligant. Not the greatest mon, but I think for its tier it was really good. With the 110 special attack and the 90 speed, it just hits super hard, and I can set up with Quiver Dances. It does not get good coverage, like I can't touch fire types at all, but I have 2 water types and a DRSB, so, and an Arcanine. It's like I deal with fire types really well. That's why I can set up with Quiver Dance, get a Giga Drain. I can put mons to sleep. I'm saying this got strength set, but it does not. It does get Heal Bell, so it's like a very support mon that can be offensive. Can't really boost its defense, like it kind of just gets slaughtered from that point of view. And its 2 attacking moves are really just Giga Drain and Moonblast, which is kind of unfortunate, but actually it does not get Moonblast. I thought it did. So yeah, I'll really just be running like Quiver Dance and Giga Drain, but I think for its tier it was really, I don't think it was great value, but it was good value. And so for the last one I got, it's another mon that I don't think fits on this team at all, but there was no other tier 4 that was good. So I got Linoon. It's a mod that I'm comfortable with. It does one thing, and it sets up a belly drum and just clicks E-speed, and it tries to either break your team, or if you have already broken down a team, you can just extreme speed and kill their offensive threats at +6. So yeah, it's just not a great mod, but like I think for its tier it was okay. And yeah, that's it. So tell me down below in the comments on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a bad team, 10 being the best team you've ever seen. Tell me what you think of this team. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.